Welcome, everyone. Good morning. Good morning to those who are gathered here in the sanctuary and to all who are joining us online today. We're going to begin our service this morning with a musical prelude from Scott DeVoe. Beautiful. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Charlottesville. My name is Reverend Tim Temerson. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm pleased to be weaving worship this morning with Reverend Leah Derlin Jones, Music Director Scott DeVoe, Riley Griffith, and our special guest musicians today, Alex and Louisa Schock. This sanctuary was built over 70 years ago on the homeland of the Monacan people and was once cared for by enslaved people from Africa and their descendants. We honor all who have dwelt here and all in our congregations whose lives led to this moment of our gathering. I invite us now to take a moment to greet others. Those online may unmute and say hello. Those here in the sanctuary, you're welcome to greet your neighbors, especially those you may not know.
Good morning, everybody. Janine here. Glad to see you all.
Morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning. It's a gross day.
It's
Yeah.
here.
It's a very great day.
Good
Gross.
morning, it's the gals. We need the rain, though.
We
We
do.
do.
Oh,
We need it
it's a
lot.
blessing. The rain may keep us inside, but it allows us to go inside as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my dog had no issue with the rain, made me take her for a nice long walk this morning.
Doesn't look like a whole lot of people in the sanctuary.
No.
There were a lot of people yesterday at the party. It was pleasant, really, really nice. My only time to get to go, and I loved it.
We offer a special welcome to newcomers and invite you to join us for fellowship after the service in the social hall. Please feel free to use one of our red coffee mugs, which are for visitors, and we encourage you to stop by the connections table near the monitor in the social hall. Seating is also available in the hall where there is a live stream of the service. Everyone, of course, is welcome here in the sanctuary, but if you need a roomier space, the social hall can be a good option. Many thanks to everyone helping us share worship, both here and online, greeters, ushers, hospitality and logistics. Special thanks to the wonderful Rachel Buckland supporting the dual platform worship, both online and here on Rugby Road. And now we have greetings from the Board of Trustees, and this morning we're going to hear from Aksha Carrier.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you were all woken up like I was by a huge thunderclap and lightning. So I'm especially bright-eyed and bushy-tailed today. Let's see. As you heard, I'm a member of your board. I'm also a member of the Long Range Planning Committee, and I just wanted to let you know, thank you. That sounds more echoey. We are starting our work now, and last year, the Mission Planning Committee group held a lot of congregational meetings, what we call cottage conversations, small group get-togethers to talk about what church means to us and what we want to be doing going forward. The Long Range Planning Committee is going to start holding a series of meetings for everyone to hear your ideas about specifics about what you want, what we want to be planning and doing over the next few years. They will be in the new year. We don't have dates yet, but I hope everyone will keep that on their mental calendar. It's really fun to get together and talk about what we want. And of course, it's really important to have every voice included in making our plans. So I hope to see you all there. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Aksha. Here are a few announcements this morning. Today at 12:15, pretty much right after the service, we'll offer our monthly newcomer circle. That'll take place in the parlor. If you are new to the Congregation of Charlottesville, want to learn more about us, or maybe you're back after being away for a while, please, everyone is invited to join us for 30 minutes of relaxed conversation with me and several wonderful lay leaders. Again, at 12:15 in the parlor. Next Sunday is a food sharing Sunday, and we invite those who are able to bring perishable food along with cleaning supplies to gift to those in our congregation whose budgets are stretched this holiday season. Anyone who would like to take food home is welcome to stay in the sanctuary and select items. Next Sunday is our annual Winter Solstice Lantern Walk. We will meet at a new location this year, 4:30 p.m. at Penn Park Shelter 2. Please bring battery-powered or candle-lit lanterns, lights, or other luminaria. Enjoy hot cider around the fire pit and bring snacks to share. Reverend Leah needs helpers to assist with setup, fire starting, and tending and cleanup, so please contact her if you can pitch in. The Lantern Walk is open to UUCville members and friends of all ages, so please join us and invite your friends and neighbors to come too. On Sunday, December the 24th, UUCville will offer 2 Christmas Eve services with a family-friendly interactive nativity at 4:30 and a candlelight service with beautiful holiday music and a homily from Reverend Tim. I hear it's going to be pretty good this year, at 7 o'clock. Now, one thing I want to make sure everybody notes, because Christmas Eve is actually on a Sunday this year, please be aware that we'll actually won't have a morning service on the 24th. So we won't be gathering at 11 a.m., but we will gather at 4:30 and 7. So I hope you will join us for one or even both of those services. And please do join us after this morning service for refreshments and conversation in the social hall.
The words for our call to worship this morning are from Amanda Schuber. If this is your first time here or your 101st time, we are glad you are here.
If you carry the weight of a weary world on your shoulders, or you entered through the doors with a song in your heart and a skip in your step, we are glad you're here.
If you are the loudest voice in the town square or the subtle hand behind the scenes, we are glad you are here.
If you have failed once, or maybe 1,000 times, we are glad you're here.
If you sing like angels or mumble behind the hymnal, we are glad you are here.
This community is what it is because of your presence. Welcome.
Welcome into this space of love, support, justice, compassion, fellowship, and worship. We are glad you are here. I invite you to please rise now in body or spirit, and let's join together in singing our opening hymn, People Look East. It's number 224 in the gray hymnal, and the words will also be projected.
People look east, the time is near, of the crowning of the year. Make your house fair as you are able, trim the hearth and set the table. People look east and sing today, love the guest is on the way. Furrows be clad, the earth is bare, one more seed is planted there. Give up your strength, the seed to nourish, and in course the flower may flourish. People look east and sing today, love the rose is on the way. Stars keep the watch when night is dim, one more light the boughs of rim, shining beyond the frosty weather, bright as sun and moon together. People look east and sing today, love the star is on the way.
Riley Griffith will lead us now in our unison words for lighting our chalice, and I invite the Perkinson family to come forward to light our flaming chalice, the symbol of Unitarian Universalism.
We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign our quest for truth and meaning, and celebration of the life we share together. We light this chalice to celebrate Unitarian Universalism. This is a church of open minds. This is a church of helping hands. This is a church of loving hearts.
Today, friends, is the second Sunday of the Christian season of Advent, and we will light 2 candles on the Advent wreath, candles of hope and love. And Riley's going to light those candles for us. First, the candle of hope, and then the new candle this Sunday, the candle of hope. May these candles remind us of the hope and love that blesses our lives, that blesses this congregation, and that Jesus of Nazareth shared with the world. A love that was kind, welcoming, and healing, a love that brought so much hope into the world.
We have a special musical offering this morning from Alex Schock. Alex is playing Whirling Leaves by Nancy and Randall Faber. so much, Alex. I could see those whirling leaves as you were playing. And what a wonderful song for this time of year as we watch the seasons change and the leaves come down and the bare branches greet us. So many of you know that this month we are exploring the ministry theme of the gifts of mystery. And what a special theme or idea to be thinking about as we approach the holiday season. This is our congregation's annual Giving Tree service, and many of you have already placed your gifts into the bag here, gift cards that will go to help those whose budgets are tight, particularly through our partnership with Greer Elementary School and the family support team there. But your gifts also support those in our own congregation who appreciate your generosity more than words can say. Yesterday, we had a wonderful party here at church. Many of you were here for that. And part of what happened was that our Christmas tree was set up. And so we have our beautiful giving tree here on the chancel this morning. Many of the decorations are handmade and have adorned this tree for many years. And I think after the service, we'll invite some taller person to help our angel maybe not list quite as much as she is listing, but maybe she's just listening really well to what it is that we have to say today. So last Sunday, if you were here, you got to hear a sermon preached by Reverend Tim about mysticism and how the ideas of mystery and mysticism connect to Unitarian Universalism. We explored that idea in children's worship as well and talked about the mystery of saying thanks and how that can enrich our own lives. So Tim and I wanted to just kind of see how that was bubbling up in you and wonder what you're thinking about the idea of the gifts of mystery today. What do you think the gifts of mystery might be? Anybody? The gifts of mystery. It rewards paying attention, says Anne. Yeah, it rewards paying attention. Other thoughts? I see a hand way in the back. Niels, yeah. Might be help? Yeah, definitely. I know I have felt help come to me in mysterious ways sometimes, just when I needed it and I didn't know what else to do, help arrived. Yeah. Christine.
Maybe mystery lets your imagination run wild.
Ooh, mystery might let our imaginations run wild. Yeah. Edith. You can see things that aren't visible. Yeah, and I know sometimes it's so easy to be in my head and want to have concrete answers or understand why and not pay attention so much to what's in my heart and to invite the mysteries of life to unfold and be. Tim, what do you think?
Before we do that,
Yeah.
Rachel's got her hand up. I think maybe somebody on Zoom wanted
Oh.
to share, or was it you, Rachel?
Oh,
Okay.
good. So Amy said it allows the joy, say it again? Of discovering and learning. And then Linda Duke said, the divine entering human life. Wow. So clearly there are lots of different ways to understand mystery. And something that this time of year, a good thing to maybe be thinking about or paying attention to. And what about you, Reverend Tim? What do you think about the gifts of mystery?
For me, the gifts of mystery are, first of all, mystery to me at one level means I don't know why something is or maybe what the answer is. But when I'm in that place, it can be such a good thing, I think, for some of the reasons that were said, because it enables me to feel amazed. And sometimes we use word like awe and wonder, but I'm not in my head. I'm just like, wow, so that's what it means to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And that sense of, I don't have to know. I don't have to understand this. I can just be with it and have that sense of awe.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that when we often talk about who are we as Unitarian Universalists, we say that one of the sources that we draw on is a transcending sense of mystery and wonder, and that can allow us to engage with the world in profound ways, but it calls on us to be open to that. So I think Reverend Tim and I want to invite all of us to be open to the gifts of mystery, particularly this holiday season, but maybe you'll find yourself being open even beyond the holiday season. All right.
Okay, great.
Thank you, everyone.
As we enter our time of centering and sharing, this past Thursday marked the beginning of Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of light. Hanukkah is observed by lighting the candles of the menorah, one on the first night, two on the second, and so on until all 8 candles are burning on the final night of the holiday. As we mark this holy time for the Jewish people, I just want to share a few words from the wonderful Rabbi Harold Kushner. He says, Hanukkah comes at the darkest time of the year. Its lights bring a message of hope to the oppressed and to the depressed. It brings the message of light winning out over darkness and the hope that even a little light can dispel a whole lot of darkness. May the flicker of the Hanukkah candles bring to the Jewish people and to the whole world hope. Hope for freedom, hope for justice, and hope for peace. Amen.
Amen.
We are an interconnected community that cares for one another. Part of how we embody this care is by making time each week to share the joys and sorrows we hold in our hearts. There were no online joys or sorrows submitted this week, but I'd like to share a couple. A joy for everyone who volunteered to help host our guests from Pacham. So many of you helped with setup, cleanup, serving dinner, and just making the UU congregation of Charlottesville a place of welcome and friendship. Our staff also pitched in, and with all this great teamwork, we were able to host Pacham for a much longer period of time than we normally do, really for an entire month. So thank you all very much. A joy also, as Reverend Leah mentioned earlier, for everyone who attended and helped with the Christmas party yesterday. Putting that party together is a fair amount of work, and members of our staff and volunteers helped out so very much. And I especially want to lift up Caroline Hines, who put in a ton of work. And let me just say that with the giving tree and all the beautiful wreaths and everything that was made and all the joy that was shared, the holiday spirit was certainly alive and moving here at UU Seaville. So thank you all very, very much. Friends, as we hold the joys and sorrows of our lives, we now invite you to come forward to participate in our ritual in which you place a glass stone in the water. Those online can type their joys or sorrows into the chat. Ellen Longmore from our pastoral care team will be present to offer support, and Ellen will be available for a few minutes after the service in the back corner of the sanctuary if you are in need of pastoral support or just need someone to listen. Those online can contact the pastoral care team at pastoral@uucharlottesville.org. And one more thing, also, if you brought gift cards with you this morning that you were donating for our Giving Tree program, you are invited during the ritual to bring them forward and place them in the box or the bag?
The bag.
In the bag, yes, at this time. And again, thank you so very much for your generosity. So now let us share in this ritual, and may the time we spend together bring healing, comfort, and hope to our lives. Let us begin. This community offers its love and support to what is closest to our hearts. Another way we show our care for one another is in sharing our financial gifts with our community and our congregation. Our social action collection for the month of December is for the UU Congregation of Charlottesville's Meal Packet Program. This is the 14th year that UUCville has operated our hospital meal packet ministry, and we have donated over 7,000 meals to the University of Virginia Medical Center. Meal packets are given to caregivers of patients or to people who are there for outpatient treatment. And I think it's fair to say the people who receive our meal packets often do not have the financial means to eat at the hospital cafeteria, and the hospital does not provide them with food because they're not patients. That's what the meal packet program does. What a wonderful program that Margaret and Michael Gorman have been leading for some time. And I'm just so proud of that program, of what we do with Pacham. It is this congregation at its absolute best, and it's just something so wonderful. So Rachel, will you please show us the social action slide for giving for those who would like to make a donation to support the meal packet program? Now, in addition to giving online, if you'd like to give today with cash or check, please use the social action collection envelopes here in the sanctuary and place your offering in the collection plates as they are passed, and no need to seal the envelopes. Along with our social action collection, each week we invite everyone into the spiritual practice of generosity by giving to the ministry of our congregation. Through your pledges and with the weekly Sunday morning offering, together our financial gifts support and sustain our congregation. This is our shared ministry. And during the music that follows, you may choose to make your Sunday morning offering by using the text address or going to our website. Here in the sanctuary, again, you can place cash or checks in the collection plates as they are passed. Let us dedicate all the many gifts we share with one another by saying, "We accept your gifts with gratitude. May we use them wisely for the highest good."
Thank you, Scott. Do you all hear something? Does anybody else hear like the jingle of a bell? Did you hear that? Oh my goodness. Look who's here, everybody. It's our Santa. Well, hello, Santa, and welcome to UUCville. We are so glad that you could join us today. We know this is a very busy time for you and the elves, but we are so glad that you stopped by. Part of the reason, Santa, is that we need your help. And what can I do? Do you think that you could help us deliver the gifts that we have collected for the families in our community that could use a little holiday cheer?
I would be delighted.
Could you do that, Santa?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. But before we pass these gifts on to you to help make the world more bright and cheery for all, let's bless these gifts together. Will the congregation join me in the words of our unison blessing? We give thanks for being part of this community of care. Let us continue to work together for the common good. May these gifts offered to the larger community be blessed by the love between and around us. And may each of our hearts be filled with overflowing love this season. In peace we pray, amen. So Santa, would you be willing to stay with us for worship?
Would love to.
I know there are many people who would like to say hello to you after the service. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this chair right over here. And if you just want to have a seat, we would love to have you be part of our service. Yeah. So have a seat, Santa.
Thank you very much.
And I'll even carry your sack.
What a great elf you are.
And Santa, we have a special little gift that we want to offer you and the whole congregation. It's a piece of music by Louisa Schock. Thank you so much, Louisa. That was a beautiful, beautiful gift. Well, our service this morning wouldn't be complete without a story, don't you think? So Reverend Tim and I would like to share a special one with you now, and we hope it fills each of us with gifts of mystery and wonder and magic. Our story is entitled The Magic Christmas Tree by Mary Sue Stevens, with illustrations by Heather Holland.
Hannah sat at the window of the tiny cabin in her boots, coat, and mittens, watching for her father. Outside, the snowflakes grew thicker and thicker, and the sun sank lower and lower beyond the forest trees.
While she waited, her warm breath clouded the window. So she took off her mittens and drew funny animals on the glass. Just as she was finishing the ears of a rabbit, the door swung open and in walked her rosy-cheeked father.
As Hannah ran to hug her father, she pleaded, "Can we still go find our tree tonight, please?"
By this time, the sun had completely disappeared into the forest, and the moon was just beginning to cast a bright, warm glow in the snow. Hannah's father knew how much she loved the trees in the forest and how excited she was to have one inside, to smell it, to touch it, and to decorate. He just couldn't say no.
Out the door they went, and after stopping by the woodshed to grab a saw, they headed off into the snowy forest to search for the perfect tree. As they walked along, Hannah and her father made up a song about the tree they hoped to find.
We're off into the woods to find a tree, and with the moon's brightness we're able to see. We'll search and search to see, to find the right one. We'll decorate it, wait for it, and Christmas will come.
They had not walked far before Hannah cried, "Look!" And there, brightly lit by a moonbeam, was the most beautiful little tree Hannah had ever seen.
Father, she said, I know it's small, but it is so beautiful. This is the perfect tree. Please, can we have this one for our Christmas tree? The tree was so small that only after a few strokes with the saw, it fell gently onto its side in the soft snow.
Hannah's father picked up the little tree with one hand, swung it over his shoulder, and carried it like that all the way back through the glistening forest.
Once inside, Hannah's father placed the little tree in a bucket filled with fresh water, and he slid the tree between the stone fireplace and the oak rocking chair so that Hannah could see it from the dinner table. All through dinner, Hannah talked about how she would decorate the little tree first thing in the morning. It was so small, she would have to use the tiniest ornaments she had collected from the forest. The little tree made Hannah feel so happy. She believed this would be the best Christmas ever.
By the time Hannah and her father were done with dinner, the moon had moved from one window to the other. After Hannah yawned a third time, her father said it was time for bed. Hannah climbed up the ladder to her room, and she put on her pajamas.
And she noticed how big and bright the stars were out of her window. And she felt a little chill. So she hopped quickly into bed and waited for her father to come and tuck her in.
She was almost asleep when her father's head popped up into the room. He sat on the edge of the bed just like he did every night and arranged the covers snugly around her. As he tucked her in, he told Hannah to remember to give thanks to the little tree because it was a special gift from the forest.
And Hannah fell into a deep sleep. and began dreaming about decorating the little tree. Her father kissed her on the forehead and then climbed down the ladder. And before Hannah's father went to bed, he glanced over at the little tree and smiled.
As the cabin grew quiet, something magical began to happen. The little tree began to quiver and shake. It stretched and stretched with all of its branches, pushing itself higher and higher until it pushed its way through the round window in Hannah's room.
Still, it kept going further and further up into the night sky. And when the tree finally stopped growing, it was far, far up past the clouds, beyond the moon, deep into the night sky, with its enormous branches reaching for the stars. And there among the stars, it began to turn and sway, rocking back and forth and back and forth. And as the tree danced and turned, stars became caught in its waving branches.
First one star, then 2 stars, then so many that the tree began to glow brighter and brighter. Then planets tumbled through the night sky toward the tree, and they too became caught in its branches. Suddenly, a meteor shot by, catching on the top of the tree, twisting and wrapping itself around and around until it ran out of glitter at the trunk. Filled with stars, planets, and meteor glitter, the tree began to shrink back down to the earth and back down toward the tiny cabin.
Animals from the forest gathered all around in its beauty and brought gifts of their own to hang on its glowing branches. Many colorful beetles climbed over the meteor glitter and made squiggly patterns on the planets with their feet and their antennae.
Luna moths fluttered around the tree, leaving yellow and blue dust on the tips of the needles. Several red squirrels brought fairies and wrapped them around the swaying limbs.
And 2 doves wove a nest near the treetop and filled it with fluffy white feathers and 3 golden eggs.
Deer and raccoons and wolves and rabbits and bears formed a circle around the cabin, holding on to each other's paws and hooves, laughing and dancing as the tree was decorated.
And after the last Luna moth flew off, the tree was so full of such marvelous, mysterious gifts and glitter that it barely squeezed back into the cabin through the small round window before settling peacefully into its place again. The glow from the beautiful decorated tree was so radiant that the whole cabin was lit and filled with a mysterious, magical warmth.
Hannah was awakened by this warmth on her cheeks and eyelids, and at first she thought that the sun had found its way through a crack in the wall, but when she opened her eyes, she realized that the light was coming from inside the cabin. She quickly climbed down the ladder, following the glow, and as she turned around,
she gasped, for the little tree just stood where she and her father had left it. But something wondrous and magical and mysterious had happened while she was dreaming. The little tree now twinkled and glowed with the most wonderful gifts from the sky and the forest. And Hannah wrapped her arms around the tree and said, "Thank you. Thank you, beautiful little tree."
and the tree twinkled back with a magical, mysterious warmth.
And Hannah felt deep inside the gifts of mystery and wonder, and the most powerful gift of all, love. And with this story, we hope that all of us will find many quiet joys, happy surprises, and gifts of mystery and wonder this season.
Yes.
And so our story ends.
Merry Christmas.
And will you all please rise now in body or spirit for our closing hymn, O Giving Tree, as we sing with joy together.
Reverend Leah, would you please extinguish the chalice? I want to leave us this morning with these words from my colleague Kathleen McTeague. May the light around us guide our journeys and hold us fast to the best and most righteous that we seek. May the darkness around us nurture our dreams and give us rest so that we may dedicate ourselves to the work of our world. And may we always seek to remember the wholeness and beauty that emerge out of the weaving together of light and dark in the great and astonishing dance that we call life. Friends, be well, take good care of yourselves, of each other, and of the world. May your hearts be filled with hope and joy, love and light. Blessed be, and go in peace.
Take your shoes off. Take your shoes off.